Alright, so I'm Jason Ortiz, and today I'll be showing you how to make a piñata. To make a piñata, first you're going to need a box cutter, a glue stick, a handy pan, a ruler, scissors, a bit of tape, and a lot of cardboard. You will also be needing candy and tissue paper. So first things first, you're going to want to think about how big you want your piñata. So if you want your piñata a 6 by 6 by 6 by 6 foot cube, then you're gonna have to cut 6 pieces of 6 by 6 foot piñatas. For this purpose, we're gonna make it around 6 inches. So we get our ruler, you mark out a 6" by 6" square. It's always, when using a ruler, it's hard to tell whether it's perpendicular. So what I like to use is a right corner that's already naturally made. So like an edged piece of paper would be nice, just so you can tell that your marks are going to be exactly perpendicular, so you won't end up with like a weird rectangle rather than the square you want. So this is always helpful. And then just finishing off my square here. That is 6 by 6 by 6 by 6 inches. So now what we use is our box cutter. For our box cutter, make sure to be safe. We first do a light trim over the cardboard, just marking out the edges, not too hard, not going all the way through, just skimming the edges. And then if you're a child, always have your parents do anything for you that involves sharp items. So don't try to do this all by yourself. And then after your second pass, you're going to be cutting through deeper in, so you're applying a little bit more pressure on all directions. It's sometimes when working with cardboard, it's easier to cut one direction than is the other. And once you got a good depth in, you can start puffing out the cardboard little by little, and it's going to be giving way because cardboard isn't the best material. Well, for our purpose, it's a great material, but it's not to be sturdy. So now we have our 6 by 6 inch cube square. Now what we do is make more of them. I have here 5 other pre-cut squares, and now with the one we just cut out, we have 6. Now we cut away this cardboard. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. Next thing you're gonna want to do with these 6 squares is you're gonna want to make a cube. The best way to make a cube is to lay one flat, get a piece of tape, get one of your other pieces, and then put them perpendicular to each other. And then lay the tape flat, and you're gonna want to do this on the inside and outside. Because just doing it on the inside is only gonna make it stop falling from falling out, but you need to make it stop falling in either also. So you need to do both sides. So that seems about right. And now it gets sturdier and sturdier with the more squares you add to your piñata. So what I like to do first is the outer edges. So want to make the sides better, so you end up with the top at the end. And then you first begin with the sides connecting to each other, and then when you get one side connected to one side, you want to get one side and tape it to the bottom, and then you get a better cube. Next, you want to get your next piece. Same thing goes with that. You want to do the sides first, so connect the side you just tape down to the floor to the brand new side. And the best way to do this is, I find, to lay one piece of the tape flat and then push it all the way to the edge of it, and then just tape it onto the next wall. So that seems good. And then now it's kind of loose on the bottom, so what we're gonna do is do the same thing, get tape, but this time put it on the side and then attach it to the ground. And if you ever feel like you need a little bit more support, you can put more than a couple pieces. The bigger the box, the more tape you are gonna need. And after a while, after a certain type of area, you're gonna have to be using a bit stronger tape. So for now, clear tape is fine, but you could be using duct tape in the future. So now that we have our cube, we want to do our last side. We could always just apply it like this and then bring it in, and that's always helpful because then we don't have to deal with being inside the cube too long. Then we just rotate that part out, and then we can use this again. Apply the tape, put it in, fold in the tape, put it in, and then just stick to the wall, and then again stick the wall to the floor, making sure you get that little bit extra strength. And then once you got all sides taped together, even taped to the floor, what you're gonna want to do is use your last piece of cardboard and cut out a little square in the middle. And usually what I like to do is a 3x3, but we can just freehand this on here. And what we're gonna have to do is what this hole is for is to first of all put candy in, which is always great. And it's also for us to kind of get a little bit of a edge when we start taping the top to the sides, because we can't really tape it inside if there's no hole to get in. So it's always just great to make us a little hole so we get in there. So now we put our 6x6 inch with a hole in. So again, you want to do the sides first. You could do this time, as is the top, you can do for all 4 sides first. So you just simply tape 4 sides, and then what you're gonna want to do is put the top on, but this time again fold them out, and then put them over it, and then just put your box down. And now comes the decorative part. Once you have a functional box, you use tissue paper. And for tissue paper, what you're gonna want to do is get your length of tissue paper, and you're gonna want to cut it to the length of 5 inches on your width, and your length is gonna have to be whatever the length of your square is, so of your cube, of your piñata. So this is a 6 inch by 6 inch by 6 inch piñata. You're gonna want to cut this tissue paper into a 5 inch by 6 inch length, just so it can match. So here I'm gonna cut in at 6, and then we're gonna go 5 up, alright. And then tissue paper is really delicate material, so you're probably gonna want to be careful with this. So now what you're gonna have to do is fold the tissue paper in half, and then when you fold the tissue paper in half, you're gonna want to fold it real good, so you're gonna crease the edges, and then you're gonna get your scissors, and with the half that is folded, so not these flaps but the other end, you're gonna want to cut in around half, or maybe 3/4 in, and make a bunch of little strips. So now you're gonna have like a bunch of little dangly strips just hanging out. And what you want to do is now open this piece, and with this piece you're gonna want to get your glue, and you're gonna just dab the ends of it, so not cutting, so not where you cut, but like on the outside edges. And once you do that, what you're going to do is we're going to get a nice curly effect by folding it inwards now, instead of folding it out, folding back in. So now we kind of reversed it. And now what we're going to want to do is get our box, and we're going to glue one side of our box and get our tissue paper, and then just put it from the top. And what we're gonna do is, usually we start from the bottom so that we can start layering up, because it's gonna get hard to get under and then put glue. But for this purpose, to show you guys, we put the tissue paper on top. So once we have the tissue paper on top, you're gonna repeat from the top, for all sides, and for the bottom, you can just put one flat layer and then one flat layer on top. So you would repeat this again and again and again until your piñata is completely covered. Now, I kind of did this in advance because it would take forever for me to do this. So I made a piñata, and this one is 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5, but it's the same concept of just different, just scaled up. For this, I did have to use different tape. I used masking tape other than clear tape because masking tape is a bit stronger. And now the fun part, you're gonna want to put candy inside your piñata. So you just dump it into the preset hole. And then the final step is just to knock the piñata, to hang it up and knock it out. And that's how you make a piñata.